Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time I'm going to be going over an Iron Man that me and my buddy had on Thursday. It's only a $50 Iron Man, so the winning team will be winning 50 and the losing team will be losing 50, and we decided to go over this to find out where our misplays were and where we could play better. We decided that this will make us better players with the deck, so... yeah, I'm here with Mike. If you want to say something,
Something.
all right, that works. That works. This is
Bro, I'm sorry. I'm on an alt account. I'm on an alt account.
yeah, this isn't his account. He was just on an all set where he couldn't get scoped, which is typical. It's normal. But we also played together in the 3v3 if you want to go ahead and check out that deck profile where we were explaining everything, which is why the video was like 43 minutes long because we were explaining a lot of stuff in that.
Bro, it was
Also,
43.
yeah, that was 43 minutes long. But
Nice.
also make sure to go check out the Coliseum. I'll leave a link down below in the description if you want to go ahead and check them out and playing like Ironmans, your money matches, anything like that. Go check them out. So the first match is going to be Witness, aka Mike, versus maybe it's Destiny, which is a pretty familiar name on the channel if you've been watching for a while. So we are going to go ahead and our team loses the rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Of course, 40 versus 40. Gotta love to see it. We're gonna see maybe it's Destiny go first. So, opening hands, we have Droplet, Boots, Scythe, Seer, and Torn Scales. So, the hand is weird. Like, we have combo plus Droplets, but then we also have, like, Seer, Scythe. So, like, we were looking at this opening hand and we are like, yeah, it's not bad. It's also not great. It's good enough. It's
Yeah.
good enough. And their hand had Field Spell, Desires, Fire, Roxy's, and Poly. So they were on the Print Kid strategy, which is an interesting strategy to choose, especially for like an Iron Man. But we had droplets, so we're able to like just stop Battle Butler effect. We don't have to like worry about their turn one. So of course they're gonna go ahead and just Print Kid combo. This is some pretty standard stuff. They actually, they decide to not activate Poly this turn, which is like really weird because Poly sets up Toad. And
Yeah, I didn't even know they honestly opened Poly.
yeah,
I
I
thought,
remember they opened the. We were sitting here, we were like, oh, they could go for Toad and that could be awkward. And I was like, nah, if they had Poly, they would have used it. They're not bad. But then they just
yeah,
never used Poly. Like, don't you want to summon Toad? Like the card's literally like the card's broken.
and you play through the Ash.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Like they
Polly
were
would.
playing through they were playing through the Ash regardless, because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Because they
they
had
yeah.
Polly, so they could
But
just activate
yeah,
that.
but I mean it'd be more optimal to do that because they had place and Poly, which is like perfect.
Yeah, like they had everything. I don't know why they played this so weird. Like they just Polly summon Toad, have Battle Butler, and like you're in a pretty decent spot. They field spell, go grab water, and then activate Desires. Banish 10, draw 2. So they get to draw like 4 cards this turn. Oh, those draws are not good. I want to look at the banishes because we thought that they banished a lot of prank kids. They did. They banished one of each
No.
prank kid. One of
Yeah, he
each.
was playing, definitely playing like but he was on Nib in the main
I
deck.
no. I
So we
guess he
did.
did. He did banish like one of each prank kid, and then also he drew prank kids. So,
Oh, fair,
so I guess that
yeah.
makes sense for like how he played.
Well, I mean, he had Nib in the main deck, so we didn't get scoped because all the count had was striker matches.
Yeah, and also like Lancia and TC Vu. Yeah, we thought we
Yeah.
got scope because this account only had striker matches on it.
They probably knew we were on PK somehow. They probably like
Nah,
they probably they
there's
had the
literally no way
perfect.
they could know we're on PK.
Yeah, true, true. We hit him with that spice, a little razzle dazzle.
That's sauce. They draw a droplet there. Hey, that's actually nice.
That was. Yeah, no, he had a solid board, solid turn.
Yeah, I mean they just messed up and never went for Toad.
Yeah, yeah, Toad probably having to get rid of that extra material for Droplet would have been rough.
Well, we wouldn't even been able to droplet stop Toad because they have Toad face up, they Toad us, and then afterwards, because they get Toad to add back water, and then we have to droplet the Battle Butler. So, like, they would have Toad droplet plus Battle Butler, but instead they only have Battle Butler droplets, so they said, nah, we don't like Toad. Maybe they don't play it, but that'd be kind of... They would have misplayed before the match started if they don't play Toad. Yeah, we draw
Oh yeah,
Fusion Destiny.
that was a good sixth.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
a really
definitely
good
a good
sixth.
six. This made it to where we could break the board with these 4 cards, and then worst comes to worst, we have Fusion Destiny Scythe.
Yeah.
So, started off with just Torn Scales, and then special summon out the boots. Get rid of those. We were holding the Torn Scales effect. We didn't need to use it there. So we just summon out Cherubini. And then
Yeah, we couldn't afford the discard. We had to save the discard for droplet.
We actually I remember us making a misplay like right up here. Crazy, like first turn of the first match we misplayed. But we Ragged Gloves to dump Fog Blade, and then we Torn Scales to summon itself out. We were trying to bait stuff. We thought they would play. Like when we summoned Cherubini, we thought they would start activating stuff, but they just didn't.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh well, that's not expected. So we go for Break Sword where Cherubini doesn't protect, so that way this can get destroyed. And then they just let this go through. You know, we target Droplet. They let this go through. We were just like, what are our opponents doing? Like, because like the crazy part is like there's at least 2 of them talking to each other right now, and they both allowed Break Sword to pop this Droplet. It's even more crazy to me now that we can see everything. Like, there's no way you let this go through. Like, that's just bad. So many people don't negate Break Sword effect, and it's like, okay, well, now we're just gonna keep going anyways. So, not a good idea. And then on this summon, they go, hold up, think here. And they just let it go through, so then we go for Raiders Knight, under Cherubini, so that way it's protected. And then they activate Bow Wow, Tribute to add back. So now they have like their Battle Butler set up, and then they're gonna go ahead and Fusion Spell, summon out the Battle Butler. And then they'll get their effects here. And then we can go ahead and just activate Droplet. We just get rid of Cherubini to stop this. The reason why we get rid of Cherubini there is because we either have to get rid of Cherubini, Raiders Knight, Fusion Destiny, or Scythe. Scythe is not an option because that's how we're going to win this. We literally have to lock our opponent next turn. We can't set up just like Fog Blades against our opponent and hope that's how we win. Because Fog Blade, yeah, Fog Blade literally only will stop Doodle Search on their turn, and that's it. And it can stop like attacks. And then Fusion Destiny makes it so that way if anything gets stopped, we just Fusion Destiny, and we win because we have Fusion Destiny Scythe. And then we want to keep Raiders Knight over Cherubini. I think that one's pretty obvious. This actually does something while this doesn't, and this is gonna equal a Link 2 anyhow, because this is going to go into Break Sword. So, we negate Battle Butler there. And now they have no more interruptions. We don't know this at this point. We're going to go ahead and Raiders Knight, go into Break Sword. And then we're going to activate Break Sword effect to pop itself in the set. And we see Polly, and at this point, we pop Polly, and we're just like, there's no way. Like, our opponent doesn't
I thought he drew it off the... So that was like the definitive thing that I was like, alright, they have to be out of like Prank Kids, because I thought they desires into Polly, and then like they didn't activate it because like they're running out of Prank Kids. There was like no point to activate it; it'd just be a waste. Yeah. So I don't.
Their entire line, like all their decisions that they made throughout this game, I think were just wrong. Like besides like why didn't they drop Blue Break Sword? Why didn't they Polly turn 1 to set up Toad? Like I think we honestly just won this game because of how bad they played it. Like, I think if they played their turn perfectly and played everything perfectly, there was just no chance for us. I think, there might have been because we would have Fusion Destiny Scythe, but they would have been in a lot better spot. Like this would have been like
Like
legendary
so,
for them.
I mean, if they even summoned Toad, we don't know what they would have done, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, we could have like set up.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
just
even know.
depends
Yeah,
what they negate.
yeah, yeah. There's no telling, but the way they set it up, it wasn't gonna beat the hand.
Yeah. And then we just go for Redoer here. We decided that at this point, if we go, because we could go for Anaconda here, right? We could go for Anaconda over Redoer, and then Anaconda allows us to play through Ash. So that's something that we were heavily thinking about. That we should go ahead, just go for Anaconda. Anaconda lets us play through Ash on Fusion Destiny. And honestly, now that I'm looking at it, we probably should have just done that, right? Because, like, if we don't get Fusion Destiny to go through, we just lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking back on that, we definitely should have went that route.
Yeah, definitely go for Anaconda. It's crazy because, like, when this match was happening, we thought about that for, like, 2 minutes.
We're like, yeah, Redoor's the way to go, and like...
Yeah, Anaconda for sure was the wave. But it's also crazy because, like, this IronMan was done a few days ago, and we tested with this deck super heavily from Monday until, from Monday until now. So, like, now we're definitely better with the deck than we were then. We have a lot more experience with it. So, looking back and just seeing, like, how we've improved and, like, how fast we were able to decide that Anaconda was better than Redo.
Oh, dude, those first 4 days with this deck list, it was insane. Like, what was it? We had Ash Imperms in there, and we're like, wow, these literally do nothing against any of the big decks.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to put Nib in. We took Droplet out because, like, there was no point. Because we took Droplet out initially, because, like, once we got Protost or Scythe, you know, you weren't stopping Scythe combo with Droplet. Yeah, you can, like, interrupt it, but if the opponent plays correctly with PK, you weren't outing it with just Droplet.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
so we definitely had to put...
Our list was changing a lot, but it was really the gameplay that matters.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
the deck list can only take you so far.
Especially me. Like, I literally just picked up the deck that Sunday, and like learned how to play it, and it's just like, it's a culture shock, I guess I should say. It's not an easy deck to play, for sure.
I think this deck over like a tournament is hard to play. I think I can play the deck fairly well, but once you start playing this deck for like hours upon hours, like, cause there's always so many different routes, I think it just starts getting hard then. Kind of like how BA PK played back in like 2016, because there was always so many different routes to take, and I think that's kind of like how it is now. But I guess you kind of just get better with that with more practice, and also I know it's gonna sound weird, but like endurance training, that's something I want to do. Probably just like hop on DB for like 12 hours at a time and just straight test for 12 hours. That's something
because like
to try to do.
A lot of times you get like mentally exhausted, and then your misplays start happening a lot more, and you just gotta keep you gotta stay like there.
Also, I need to eat more during the tournament and drink.
Oh, you definitely have to bring food. Definitely have to bring food and water.
Get on a better sleep schedule before the tournament comes. I think all that would
not that staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning, getting up at 5 and driving to the the tourney. That doesn't work.
Yeah, it definitely does not work. But alright, so we should have went Anaconda there. So that was definitely a misplay, and then we can go.
Honestly, another one was why did we summon all these in defense instead of trying to like put at least damage on board? You know what I mean? Like put summon Redoer attack, summon.
There's a 3,000 body on board.
No, you can use Enforcer to pop
it. Sir, they activated Bow Wow. We can't pop this.
Oh, that's right. I can't remember now. All right, don't mind me. I'm also mentally exhausted.
Mentally something, all right, but we're gonna go ahead and enforce
your effect. Oh, that's rough. That's tough.
And then enforce your graveyard effect.
At least I remembered it during the game.
Yeah. Hey, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Yeah. I watched it back. We just got in that little. We got off track there, and I totally forgot what was even happening in the game.
Yeah. Hit your poly, and then we redo her. I'm pretty sure we hit fusion spell here. I don't know.
Yeah, we hit
Desires. I
desires.
know
We hit a spell though, which
Yeah.
was nice.
And then we decide to go ahead and redo her effect here. We wanted to see if we could draw a hand trap, and then also we wanted to play around droplets more by using that before hero comes out. But like realistically, if we get hit with droplets on Scythe anyways, we just lose. Like
Sure.
Yeah, we just lose to droplets
For sure.
here.
Well, you had no choice. There's no way to play around it.
Yeah. So now we just go ahead and they're gonna activate Battle Butler effect, which, you know, they don't know the set is Scythe, so they were just trying to out the only known interruption. And then we just chain Enforcer to pop, and then we Scythe lock them. So we go ahead, bring out Scythe effect, this resolves, and then, you know, at this point in time, we're super hyped because our opponent, we know they lose. Like, once this resolves, our opponent can't activate cards.
The draw's kind of nasty, too, because that's his combo.
Yeah, like, we're full comboing here, and, yeah, they admit defeat before we even get back to our turn. So now, moving on to game 2, we go ahead and we see maybe it's Destiny decide to go first. Opening hands, we have Fusion Destiny, Torn Scales, Nib, Twin, and Tracker. And we're freaking out because, like, this hand's crazy. Like, we can nib our
Hand's
opponent.
nuts.
We'll draw the card that we can most likely just twin away, pop stuff. So our opponent's not ending on, like, Battle Butler. Like, there's like, almost no way. They have to set, like, 3 cards and us miss it and then still have the pranks after nib to be able to do that. And then they have Roxy's, Nib, Poly, Nib, and Wind.
They open Poly.
There is no way they just don't play with this card.
What? They open Poly double Prank Kid both games?
And they just, they're like...
Does that play around Nib better too?
Yes. It's
like, what?
Before 5th summon. Man, I don't know. Maybe we should have did the run back. Maybe we should.
It was like two. Dude, we couldn't after. They'll see later, but we couldn't after that. It was too much.
They banished Nib, draw pranks, and then.
And with that banish a Nib, we definitely knew.
Yeah,
there was a Nib in there.
Yeah, because they banished Nib, we knew that they either had Nib in hand or like a whole bunch of hand traps or something. But we assumed right away that they just had another Nib. So, they go ahead, summon out Wind from deck, go for Doodle, and then those effects will activate. So now they dump, summon, and they go search Fusion Spell. And then right here we activate Nib before they just go ahead and like tribute and add back. So like it fairly good here. The opponent just lets it go through. Like they could have played through this. Like just watching this, like I don't
They
know.
could have played through it.
They could have played through this multiple ways. End phase, pranks will go ahead, put back.
Why? Oh, there it is.
They draw Talons. We draw Celestial. Yeah, that we were like, wow, this is just the worst draw in the entire deck because we can't twin this away. Just a horrible draw. So standby phase, we twin, we get rid of Fusion Destiny to out those. We have to get rid of Fusion Spell. We don't want them playing or anything. So even though it sucks to get rid of Fusion Destiny, like I think that was just mandatory. We didn't have an option. Normal summon effect, we get rid of Tracker, which is a little risky here because we can get hit with like an Ash Blossom or something. But also our opponent probably assumes our hand's kind of crazy if we're twin getting rid of Fusion Destiny. And we're also discarding an extender off Torn Scales. And even if they do Ash Blossom or Valorous or something here, we still have the option to go into Anaconda.
That's honestly the biggest reason why we did this play.
Then we dump Ancient Cloak. Ancient Cloak, go search out Boots. And then special summon Boots. And at this point, we're only on 2 summons. And then we go for Cherubini on the 3rd. And then Cherubini effect, dump Graph. Graph effect to summon out from the deck. And, like, we know there's Nib. Like, we were just talking about it. We're like, there's no way they... Like, we know it's there.
Yeah.
Then we go for Rusty. And this is the 5th summon. And then we get Seer effect to special summon back.
Like honestly, this is like the only time we would ever see Appaloosa come up in the deck too. Is like when we have a nib on board and like
Yeah.
full. Like that's the only time.
Yeah, it's very rare
But
for Appaloosa to actually come up. And it was
yeah,
funny because, actually, I'll bring that up in a minute. But we get Rusty
yeah,
Effect, and they don't nib us, by the way. They don't nib
yeah.
us. They let us
They
go.
didn't nib us there. Yeah,
And we
which
were
let
like,
us get that
what?
extender. Letting us get that extender in the grave was definitely like
Yeah, they
not the
literally just
move.
gave us 2 extenders by not dropping nib. And then we banished Ragged Gloves to go ahead and do Ragged Gloves things, and then they changed Shade.
That was
So
a misplay. That was a misplay. I
yeah,
had to
he
do
meant to
that.
activate Shade and then Ragged Gloves, but he activated Ragged Gloves over Shade. At this point in time, Mike didn't really know the names of the Phantom Knights. He just knew what they did. So
No, so like I was like,
I was
this is my
literally-
first Iron Man, so I was stressed. And
I was
like all I heard was
literally-
activate gloves. Like all right, or activate shade, activate shade. I was like, all right, gloves, you got it. Got you here.
I kept saying use Shade. He activates Gloves. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? And you were like, wait, Chain Link 2, and I was like, oh, you're so lucky. And then we dump Fogblade. And then right
There it
here,
is.
this forces Appaloosa once again. So they have to go ahead and drop Nib. Otherwise, if we summon Appaloosa, we win. And then
But even that, like that mindset is like still wrong though, because we had Appaloosa when Seer summoned back Cherubini.
Yeah. Well, it's like the opponent just.
They're waiting for us to commit more. That's what they're waiting for.
Yeah.
Which is definitely the wrong play to make.
We just summon the Sea Dragon. Sea Dragon, go for Ancient Cloak. Also, right here, it's funny. I told him to detach Boots. He detaches Torn Scales, summon out Ancient Cloak. The goal was that we could turn Token into Link Spider, and then Ancient Cloak and Link Spider into Anaconda, and keep Sea Dragon up. Because Sea Dragon and Token both apply a lot of pressure, but the Token only has 600 defense, so it's not hard to beat over. While Sea Dragon, like, they have to out it, otherwise this card's going to get us more and more cards. So that was another misplay there.
Calm down. Calm down. Alright, I know.
Hopefully the next
Now
time-
I know. Always detach the PKs that aren't Torn Scales.
Nah, now we know, like, no need to stress over, no need for you to stress over Iron Mans. We're simply just the best players. There's no need to stress when you just know we're better. So we pop Anaconda.
Calm down.
Nah, bro, it's just straight facts. Everyone always says don't have an ego in this game, by the way. Everyone always says that, but nah, you gotta have an ego with everything you do. It just has to be a realistic ego.
Yeah, just like the 3v3 when we're calling everyone bots.
Bro, bro, okay, that's different, bro. That's different because, like, 3v3s are so different, bro. They're so different.
I know.
Everyone-
And we don't mean that as like an insult. We're just like trying to like hype ourselves up, kind of.
Yeah.
We're not like actually thinking that you're trash.
Well,
Like,
I don't know. Our teammate definitely didn't know a lot.
oh no, when we're talking to each other, yeah, we mean it. Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, especially you, round 1. Buddy
I
told
won
his
round
opponent. Remember, you said you bricked and you opened full combo. You just couldn't break the board. I was like, wow, I got one of these guys on my team now, huh?
We bricked, bro. Couldn't do anything.
Boots, go search Fogblade, set it. And at this point, we're pretty confident. We got the Torn Scales, the Ancient Cloak, the Celestial, Enforcer.
Oh yeah,
Fogblade
they would have to kill us this turn in order to win.
Yeah, and like
For
we have
sure.
Enforcer to pop normal summon, and then Fogblade to go ahead and like stop something. We can stop like Doodle Search or just hold this for like an attack. And they draw Judgment there, which is like the worst draw ever. They normal summon, and then on summon we just go ahead and Enforcer pop. Obviously, like they put Meow back last turn. We don't want them just resolving stuff. We get the Graveyard effect of Enforcer, and then they activate Talents to draw. They draw Desires Poly. Draw
Wait. Why didn't they take the token and hit us with it?
Because wasn't the token was only at 56.
Oh,
so it's
fair.
not game.
True. I thought it was at more.
No, you're just a
See,
bot.
going back, I am like spacing out. Like I don't remember like any of this. I was a whole different person on this game.
Alright, yeah, but they just go ahead, they set back row, and we're like, yeah, like, we win. Like, those are probably just all bluffs. And we draw E-Telly. They drop Lancia, but it doesn't even
I mean,
matter
we're
because,
just
like, we have
yeah.
token with so much attack. So we just go ahead, switch, and then they say GG, and then, yeah, they just needed a 3-minute break, so we go ahead, we win the first match, so now we are up 1-0, and this is only a 2v2, so, like, being up in the first match is way, like, it's a huge advantage. So, now next match, we have Mike versus Angelus, which is also another player that you know if you have been watching the channel anytime recently. They play in a lot of IronMans. And this time around, we win the rock, paper, scissors shoot.
Oh, we were
So,
hyped. We're like, let's go.
yeah,
We're
we
like,
were
we
like,
got
oh, we
it. We
win, we're at the
got it.
2-0.
Like
It's
with
crazy.
with all our testing, we're like, oh, this deck going first. You win the die roll, you're in. Like it's hard to lose the match, and
Yeah. Now, you know, 40 versus 40, gotta love to see it. And we go first, opening hands. We have E-Telly, Cloak, Wings, Nib, and Rhoda. And we're just like, wow, this is
bro,
combo.
even look at that hand. Look at the opponent's hand though. That's insane.
Oh yeah, Fusion Destiny, Gamma, Invocation, Ash, Meltdown. Just like this hand's like okay, our hand's wild. But their hand
that dude
is
stays opening broke.
Like, jeez.
But our hand's just wild enough.
Yeah, I mean we can't complain because our hand's nice.
Oh, definitely not.
But like they also can't complain because their hand is also nice. Then we Torn Scales, get rid of Ancient Cloak. They let this go through because like if they gamma this, we can Ancient Cloak, go Banish, and then you know, Torn Scales bring itself out. So they don't want to stop that there. So we go ahead and dump Fog Blade as the extender, and then we Ancient Cloak, Banish itself. They Ash Blossom this, and then we just activate E-Telly. So E-Telly go ahead, summon out the extender from deck, and then that's gonna summon out the Wielder. And then get rid of those. Go for Cherubini. Cherubini affect the dump Graph. And then Graph effect, and they also just let this go through. Go for Seer, and slap into Rusty. Seer effect, special summon back out the body.
I stay summoning on the wrong side.
I was just thinking that. I was like, this, like, I hate summoning to the, like, I don't know, like, having the mindset of summoning to the right zone. It happens to so many players, and it's so bad. I was yelling at them during this, too. I was like, you better start summoning to the left zone.
I kept doing the 3v3 too. I was like, I hope he doesn't notice.
Just look over. Actually, I'm not even gonna lie. I did notice it one time, but you were winning anyways. I think your opponent was down to like 0 cards, and you had like an enforcer. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna yell at him. I gotta play my match. But you're lucky I had to play my match. Otherwise, I was yelling at you. Then Rusty effect, they chain Gamma.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
That's a good Gamma.
So now we just have to like banish Fog Blade, special summon out from the graveyard. And this isn't like the greatest spot to be in, but it's kind of just like what we have to do. So we go for Anaconda, and then Anaconda can go ahead and set us up the Enforcer. And even though we won't have like our Phantom Knight follow up with Torn Scale, we still have Wings that can summon back out Rusty, so this is good follow-up. And then we have our hero, like our Celestial and Enforcer follow-up. So we decided that here we're in a pretty decent spot. But also we knew that Nib was going to be stuck in hand if they weren't on a combo deck, which could make things tough because, like, you know, we need Rusty to go through to get us to Torn Scales to get Nib out of hand. So we just pass there, they draw Ecclesia. Like, they're so good. They're so good. Look at this.
Like, how?
Just wild. They start off with Meltdown, you know, we Enforcer pop. Just cut off Alistair. And also, at this point, we knew that Nib probably wasn't going to do anything, and we were like, oh, that's really tough.
Yeah.
So, they go ahead, and they dump their bricks, summon out the Enforcer, and now they're going to activate Enforcer effect, and then we just chain wings on our Enforcer, so that way, you know, we're protected by this. It just makes it so that way, like, we don't take damage this turn. Because otherwise, like, well, okay, let's actually think this through. Because what if they do just Enforcer pop the back row? Because, like, if they
Okay,
Enforcer
so well, I
pop,
think this actually comes up. I think we asked them who they're popping
it doesn't
because
target.
yeah. So we asked them, are they popping the back row, or are they
Oh,
popping? Are they
yeah.
popping Enforcer to pop? Because that will come up. Yeah, because like they won't be able to, like, if they do get something up big enough to get over Enforcer, we have to know so if it's being protected or not.
Yeah. But I meant, like, why did we chain wings there?
Because if not, we just lose it. Because like Enforcer's definitely gonna pop back row with a, our Enforcer's dead, so
Mm-hmm.
they're definitely gonna try to pop it. So you might as well put something on
Yeah.
ours.
I guess that's right, yeah. Because now our Enforcer's gaining 500 attack.
Yeah, that's
So,
kind of nice.
and then they go ahead, you know, normal summoning YuGiOh, and then get that effect to go search. That's going to grab Knight.
Going back through this replay makes me even mad about this whole, like, the whole thing. Like, dude opened insane
Yeah, this
every
dude drills
single
crazy. Maybe I need to
game.
replace you with
Oh,
him.
bro, that's tough. That's
Alright,
tough.
alright. Maybe we just need to add him as the third.
I'm on the come up, dude. Don't tell me.
This dude's already came up. Look at these hands. We drill Scythe there. We're like, alright, well, that's awkward. So we could have went ahead and Dashered, summoned out Scythe, which is something that I thought about saying, but then we went to standby phase. So let's because I didn't think about this too much because we had already like full committed to standby phase.
I
But
think we. Oh, did we? I think it's because we had Rusty when our forces were gonna trade. Um, that we just kept Scythe so we could Scythe combo him the next turn. So we
yeah,
just
but I
pass it on.
mean, also to be fair, like if they just standby phase, activate Enforcer, effect to pop our Enforcer. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense because then we just chain the pop that.
Yeah.
But if we like Dasher effects, summon out Scythe, and then Enforcer effect to pop. If they chain their Enforcer effect to pop, then we can still go ahead and out the back row, because we can pop Scythe in back row. And then they have Knight in hand, but it doesn't matter because we can banish for Rusty.
Mhm.
So I think that was a misplay. Because if we do what we did, because now if we set Scythe and we go ahead and try doing that, they have Knight.
Yeah, but I think it's because our Enforcer also had the boost, so we were baiting that thing out anyway and getting the pop on the back row regardless. Because
Yeah,
our
but now we
Enforcer
have
is
to go through
at
battle
29.
phase to do it. I guess we
When you
also
have
do get
Scythe
to
though.
keep Scythe.
Yeah. Yep.
But we know that like their hand is Knight. I guess like it helps
And
play
they
around.
would need a 3,000 attack extra deck monster if that was punishment.
Yeah. Well, this is only at
Well,
26.
26. Yeah. Yeah.
But like if it's punishment and they use it, then like that's just free because we just chain our Enforcer.
Yeah. Then they had to pop their Ecclesia. I'm pretty sure because
So
they activated. So
yeah.
we're chain link 2 pop, and then
Yeah,
they
we
have to
pop
pop it.
Invocation, and then there's pops their Ecclesia, and then we get the effects. And now, like, they're left without Knight being able to negate. We know this card's in hand, so then we just
It's a
banish
nutty game
one,
1. It was pretty
summon.
nice.
Yeah. I just like looking back and seeing where you made all these mistakes.
Thanks, man. I
So,
appreciate it.
yeah, no problem, no problem. So, we dump Cloak, set Shade. We're doing this so that way we can Ancient Cloak, go search Stained, and then we can activate Shade, special summon out Stained, up the level by 1, and then we can overlay those and go for the number 80, and then number 80 effect, just go ahead and wipe out their graveyard. So, we go ahead, we hit the...
They banished the Celestial on their own, but you definitely
Yeah,
banished
we weren't
Dasher
going to
there.
banish that. We were going to banish the Enforcer and Dasher and leave Celestial, but... You know, they go ahead, they admit defeat anyways, and now we move on into game 2, And we're going to see Angelus go first. Opening hands, you have Junk Forward, Boots, Ancient Cloak, Droplet, and Droll. And we looked at this opening hand and we're like,
dude, we
you're
were
insane.
like, oh,
yeah, we were
it's
freaking
over.
out. I was like, you're really about
It's
to 4-0
over.
in your first IronMan, huh? Like 4-0 your opponent.
That's literally the exact thing you said.
Yup. And then they drew Dasher, Ecclesia, Nib, TC Boo, and Super Poly. So they summon out Ecclesia, Effect to Go Search, and they just grab Punishment there. And
I didn't realize. We didn't, did we?
No,
did
we
we
realized that
drop
there's
Troll
no
here?
point of activating
Yeah.
Troll because if they're summoning Ecclesia grabbing Punishment, they don't have anything else to search with. So they set pass, we draw Fusion.
Bro,
Destiny.
I mean, that's our 6th card. Get out of
Yeah.
here. Like, how did we
at,
lose?
at this point, we knew
Oh, my bad.
Punishment and TC Boo. We knew these cards were set. We argued. I'm not kidding. We're going to look at these logs in a second. I want to see how long it took us to summon that Junk Forward because we argued about this. See, we drew
like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
like almost 3. Like,
two-
a
it was 2
little over
minutes.
2 minutes.
Like 2 minutes exactly.
Just to summon one Junk Forward.
I was like, we
yeah,
should-
there's TC Boo.
Yeah, I know. I was like, we should Fusion Destiny. And you're like, but what if there isn't TC Boo? I was like, but there is. I know there is. And you were
So
like,
we compromised on the Junk Forward and attack position.
yeah, so that way if we got hit with TC Boo, we could crash. So we special summon, they activate TC Boo, battle phase attack, and then that's going to go ahead and get rid of the Junk Forward, so that way we can main phase 2 Fusion Destiny, which will go ahead, dump, and then summon, which realistically, like, this isn't the biggest of difference anyhow, because Enforcer in attack position was only going to deal 14 damage, but it wasn't even going to, like, out this, and then this would have never been flipped, so, like, it's not, like, the biggest difference ever. And then we set Droplet and we passed. And the reason we did this is because we knew there was Punishment. And we didn't want to activate Enforcer Effect Chainlink 1 and then Punishment Chainlink 2 to out the Enforcer and allow them to get to more of their Dogmatica engine. Even though it would cut off stuff like, Super Poly or the Invoked engine. We assumed at this point like the Invoked engine just wasn't even going to be usable because of their TC Boo. Yeah, well, actually, hold up, because no, I'm thinking wrong because we knew that they couldn't get the more Dogmaticos or anything because they already had Spellcaster on field. So why didn't we Enforcer and Force Punishment?
I think we did. I think we didn't want them to. Oh, there. All right, there's a misplay we just found. Yeah, why didn't we?
Yeah, I mean we thought about it, but
we didn't. We definitely should have.
Yeah, because they're dumping, like, what? We know that the hero stuff is in their deck and not the Shaddols. So we know we're not getting hit with Aerial.
But, I mean, even if they dumped App Clone, search for Schism, and it still does nothing because of TC Boo.
Yeah.
So, there's literally nothing.
Yeah, Elder wouldn't matter. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was definitely a misplay.
For sure.
Yeah, that was actually a huge misplay. Because then they're gonna tribute set Dasher.
Oh, here's another one. We should have saw that coming.
We should have saw Dasher get set.
No, we should have anything if they tribute set. There's only one card they did, and why else would you do that if you didn't have Super Poly? I mean, they have first priority on set. Yeah.
Like they just flipped this and we can't do anything. So then they just go for their Enforcer.
That was rough. That was rough.
That was real rough. That was real rough. Wow, like, we really should have just popped and not cared about Punishment. Wow, we're so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was rough.
That was rough.
What a... Alright, let's just keep going on this.
I don't know, I kind of just want to call you a bot.
Well, if we were both on that Discord, so I mean...
I don't know, I was probably tabbed out or something. That was probably all you, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. That was all my fault. I'm sorry. Sorry, Dad. I'll do better next time.
Why? Wait, why did we drop Droll?
Because he searched Meltdown. We just want to prevent any more advantage being gathered.
Don't they just melt down next turn?
Yeah, but we thought we had a good chance of playing out of the turn.
But they can't get to Alistair.
No, I'm saying we rolled them because we had Boots Cloak and we could possibly play next turn. So we didn't. We wanted to get set up before.
Look. I don't think you get what I'm saying. What
Yeah.
does Meltdown do?
You know what, dude? Just keep ripping me apart. It's fine.
Bro, I'm ripping us both apart. I was here. I was.
Yeah, why?
I was. You were the wit and I was the nis. Okay, this is both of our doings. Why did we drop draw here? We knew punishment was set. We knew every card. So why do we drop draw in this scenario? Because all they can do is activate Meltdown, search Alistair, and then that's it. Because they already normal summoned. I think at this point we were just triggered. Because we were. I think the guy was super quality. I mean, that has to be it.
Definitely, we were salty.
Wow. I always say this on the channel too. Like, if you like get tilted, you have to learn how to like untilt yourself instantly. Otherwise, it's just gonna lead you to making misplays and stuff. So, yeah. Also, on the attack, we should have activated Droplet because we knew that main phase 2 they were gonna activate the effect of pop. So we should have done this before. So we got rid of Boots. And we wanted to activate Droplet anyways because we knew that we couldn't get Boots and Cloak out of the hand next turn because of TC Boo, and we needed to activate Celestial. So, pass, and we rip Cosmic, which is
We thought we were in.
Yeah, we were like, there's no way. We were like, there's no way we just draw this. So we normal summon, and then we activate Cosmic, and we go ahead and we hit the TC Boo. And remember, we know everything else that they have. And then we activate Celestial Effect, and here, we were supposed to banish Enforcer and not Dasher. That was your fault. That was your fault. I know that one.
That was 100% my fault.
100% your fault. Then
we draw 100% mine.
Yeah, we draw Torn Scales and Droplet, and we're just like, oh, that's.
I was like, oh, we're cracked.
Like, that's
we're
not
cracked.
bad at all. So then we go for Amirage. And yeah, this is where I kept
Yep.
I was like, stop summoning to the right zone. And he was like, oh, I already did it. I'm like, full commit. Go to the left zone. And then Droplet, get rid of Torn Scales. Go ahead, negate that. And then now we can activate Ancient Cloak, banish itself, go search out Boots. And this spot, is there even a different way we could have played this? Like, I think this is the only route we really had.
Yeah. But, like, we had the out to punishment, though.
We thought we did.
Yeah.
Well, it depended on we needed them to mess up for us to be able to play through this. There was no other way, because we already went through our hero package, so we couldn't, like, put up an Anaconda to force something, to, like, force the punishment, and then go ahead and, like, banish Ancient Cloak to go do, like, Torn Scale things. So we needed them to mess up here, but they didn't. They chained punishment, target Amirage, sent Elder, and then this comes out, and now they get Elder effect to out this.
Now that I'm looking at it, we sided out Stained. That's right.
Yeah, Stained got sided
If we had
out.
Stained was the way. If we had Stained, that was the one you would have to search, and then we would have been able to go into
the Redoer.
Redoer it back, send it back.
Yep.
And at least have a body, but.
Well, I mean, that would have been pretty decent, because, like, Redoer and they're under punishment. We know their only card in hand is Meltdown.
And then we had the out to Meltdown with.
Well, they were under punishment, so this wouldn't have done anything. So then they would have had to pretty much skip a turn, while Redoer was, like, you know, hitting spells or traps or something that get us farther ahead. So, we just didn't have Stain there. But this all just stemmed from, like, our misplay of not enforcing Pop.
Yep.
And then set Fogblade Pass, draw Alistair. And they start off with Meltdown. And then Meltdown, go search Alistair. And then normal summon Alistair, effect. You know, we just let that go through. There's no point in stopping this. This doesn't do anything because of punishment. And if we Fogblade this, they could just even chain Enforcer, pop Meltdown. And they know every card we have. So
I don't know why we didn't. I don't know why we didn't try to. Oh, yeah, they had it regardless. Yeah.
Well, we thought that like we had to let this go through because otherwise they could just pop this. So like there
We
was no
saved it. Yeah, we didn't know they top decked the Alistair. We
even
had to
if
save
even
it to
even if we
trade with our
did
turn.
like Enforcer
Yeah.
just pops Meltdown. So there was no way for us to like stop this because they drew Alistair. So we just go ahead and damage they drop Alistair and put us into a game 3 situation. And now game
But I'm
3,
saying like people might be wondering like why we didn't do it to try to save an attack. That's because we had to save it for our turn. In order
we
to trade
had to save it for Enforcer effect. There was no other way to play that. We had to stop Enforcer effect. And then our opening hand is Boots, Cosmic, Torn Scale, Stained, and E-Telly. And we're looking at this and we're like, all right, this is nice. This is what we want. We have an Optimistic Mind and we have Combo. Very hard to lose. And then they have Super Poly, Prosperity, Gamma, Nib, and Dasher. So, yeah, I mean, they opened up a few good going second cards here.
Just a few. I mean, they're kind of low impact if you ask me.
Yeah, very, very, very low impact. So we discard Stain, dump Fogblade, and then we special summon out Boots, get rid of those, go for Cherubini, and then Cherubini effect, and then we dump Graph. Graph effect to summon Seer out from deck. And then we go ahead and we get rid of those. We go for Rusty, and then Seer effect to special summon back out Cherubini, and then activate the Rusty effect, and then, you know, they let this go through too. So we go ahead, we dump the Ragged Gloves, set the Shade, and then we banish Fogblade, special summon back out Stained, Torn Scales effect summon itself out, and then right here they go ahead and
bada bing, bada boom, there it is.
Yeah, which hurt. So
that hurt bad.
They summon that out and pass over token. Why didn't they Gamma? They played that bad, right? Like there was they should have dropped Gamma before. That was just played bad on their part. And then we activate Shade, and we get rid of those. We go for Dagda. You know, we're playing through the nib here. Banish Ragged Gloves to dump. We dump the Wings because we had already used the Fog Blade. Add Drew. And we activate Wings. Special summon out Boots. I had to do it. I had to do it.
You said it.
I had to. E-Telly 1, Dagda 2.
Play around the Ash.
No, go ahead. Set sights. Special summon out Wielder. And then overlay those, you know, go for Sea Dragon. We may as well, because this allows us to have more follow-up for the next turn.
And we had to, because we needed the effect monsters. I don't think we had anything.
We could just turn Wielder and Boots and
yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but we may as well just go for more follow-up. That's literally what Sea Dragon is made for.
Yeah.
To get you follow-up, or put, like, Torn Scales in the graveyard. And then, Anaconda effect, pay 2k, and we dump. We go ahead, dump, summon out Enforcer. And then
if you keep your eyes open, get ready to see another misplay here pretty soon.
It wasn't even that bad. Okay.
Bro, we literally sat here and debated. We're like, do we pop Nib and play into Gamma? What are the odds he has Gamma?
We were like, there's no way he has
There's
Gamma.
no way he held it. There's no way he held it.
Because, like, dude, it's bad to not hold Gamma. I mean, it's bad to hold Gamma.
So I guess it wasn't a misplay. We definitely got bamboozled, I guess.
Yeah, like, but we could have also went ahead and popped Enforcer Anaconda to play around Super Poly, pass, and then standby phase Enforcer come back, and then pop Scythe. Just, you know, pop Enforcer and pop Scythe, just to play around like a top deck Gamma or a top deck Imperm or something. But we didn't, and then they top deck Nadir Servants. So it's crazy because our losses all stimulate from misplays, which, like, you may think, like, oh, that just means you're bad, but that does mean we're bad, but it means the deck has more potential that we have yet to achieve, which is very good when you're going over a deck, because if the deck has more potential than you have got to yet, then the deck is only going to get better than it already is, and we have already decided that this deck is very strong. So if we've already decided this deck is very strong, insane. Even though we're misplaying, it means the deck is only going to get better.
Yeah, we are only going to become better pilots of the deck.
Yes.
With going back, watch these replays, learning like, oh, okay, yeah, we definitely messed up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple.
So we standby phase, we enforcer effect, we chain dagged up. We shouldn't have chain dagged here, by the way.
Correct.
We were supposed to hold dag the chain in response to scythe. Because if they don't gamma enforcer, then we can chain block the scythe from gamma. So that was a misplay. But we don't know if they were gonna gamma enforcer or not. We don't know that.
I thought Gamma was their 6th card.
Yeah, we really did think gamma was a 6th card, because
like there's like no way.
Their team played so weird, bro. They never used Poly. They never used Droplet when they should have. They held Gamma like they used Gamma. Like, what are they doing? They're like, God. It's so
Salt.
wild. It's so wild.
They so much salt.
It's like there's no way. And we just, this is our first time going over the replay too, like on like DB, for us to see the fact that they held Gamma when they had Nib. Like, it just blows my mind, because there's no way a player actually decides to play like this. Because if they just used their hand traps correctly turn 1, we weren't getting this far anyways. And then if we just played correctly and didn't pop Nib, we were just winning, stimulating off of their misplay. So, like, just blows my mind. That's all it does.
No, if they played correctly, we weren't making a pass turn 1.
Yes.
Because we would have been able to extend towards Anaconda, and then Nib comes out, and you're like, okay, I just lose.
Yeah, like, there's no way we're playing through Gamma Nib turn 1, unless if we open up absolutely bonkers. Which we opened pretty solid, but we're not playing.
We opened solid. We didn't open it. Yeah, you have to open like, maybe you gotta like replace one of our cards with Fusion Destiny, and that's about it.
Yeah, you have to replace a card with Fusion Destiny or replace one with Talons. This is literally the only way we're playing through like Gamma Nib with that hand.
Yeah.
And then activate Prosperity. Prosperity will go ahead and banish 6. But another thing about the deck is, even if we do get hit with like Nib Gamma, a lot of the times we still have decent follow-up. Like, look at this.
Yeah, we definitely have follow-up.
Like, we still have Fogblade to like summon Rusty, we have Torn Scales, we have our Celestial, we have Enforcer, we have Lancia coming out during the end phase. So like, we're not in the worst position, even after getting hit with like Nib Gamma. And then they're going to go ahead, look at the top 6, and they grab Alistair there. And once they grab Alistair, I'm like, yep, they have Nadir Servant, for sure. There's no way, because, like, Alistair just is, like, worse than Nadir Servant in so many ways, I feel like. So...
yeah, yes and no. I feel like, if you get the...
but
they knew we had Fogblade. They knew we had Fogblade. So
yeah, but
that's also what we said. We're like, oh, maybe he doesn't have Nadir. He just has Super Poly. So that's going to be stronger. And then,
yeah.
There's so many scenarios we went through, and little did we know that he had both. he just had it all.
It just didn't matter. It just didn't matter.
Nope. Chain the Super Poly. Yep, that hurt.
Yeah,
yep. Now Fogblade's stuck, and we have one less follow-up now.
Mm-hmm. And then Invocation rips the hero.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, it really does. And also, we thought about using Cosmic on the Invocation to stop Alistair from getting the hand. And the reason why we didn't is because we didn't want to get gamed this turn. Which is actually really good that we didn't. Otherwise, we would have indeed gotten gamed this turn. Because they're under Prosperity, so it's half damage.
Yeah.
They're going to dump Elder. Yeah, Elder grab Maximus, and then Elder affect the pop. That goes ahead and pops the Cosmic. And then they're just going to attack for some good damage here. So go ahead and swing for a lot.
They definitely had game, though, if they would have summoned. If they would have... No, they wouldn't have.
If we would have Cosmic, right. we would have gotten gamed.
Oh, yeah. Because
now your Servant would have just went ahead and searched.
If they had one more extra deck monster in there, it was game, but they didn't. That's we were like arguing about that too, I think, and I was like, no, he only has the one.
I mean, to be fair, right here they reveal that they had Omega. Yeah, I remember that. So
yeah,
couldn't they just have turned Gamma Driver into Omega up in the extra monster zone? Nadir Servant, dump Elder, search Ecclesia, pop the Unknown, special Ecclesia, special summon Knight, and wouldn't that be game?
Rip our top, or yeah.
I'm literally about to do the math on it right now, because that should just be game.
Instead of acting prosperity.
No. They game us through that. Yeah, we should have.
12,000 damage.
Yeah, we were gamed. If they played that right, we
Wow.
lost there.
I mean, we lost anyway.
Whoa, whoa. Fair enough. But
Yeah,
should have been
we saw the
OTK.
app. We saw the app cologne. We
Mm-hmm.
saw the Omega. It was like, there's no way. Yeah, he puts back Celestial or Dasher.
Yeah, puts back.
Yeah, he definitely put back Dasher there, by the way. Definitely put back Dasher.
Yeah, because it brings us out of
But
smaller
they had
value.
so much, it did not matter.
Mm-hmm. Then Lancia goes. Lancia comes back, and they decide not to Agos pop Lancia. By the way, we sat there. You can actually look at this. We sat there for like 10 seconds. Yeah, we sent the set to the graveyard, special summoned it, and then we waited 10 seconds, and we were like, all right, Lancia's out. Let's go. We drew
Got
order.
Horrible top deck.
Yeah, and at this point we were like, yeah, we can't win, so we just go ahead and admit defeat. This dude said Nexi is boss with Famas.
Which card is that? Black Ops 1. Let's go.
Alright, so now hopping into the third match, the final match, we have this stupid guy, boss with Famas. You may have seen him on the channel before. Yeah, he's kind of a
Guy's
bot.
a bot. It's just a bot.
Mm-hmm. And then also make sure to go subscribe to his YouTube channel. It's the DB Grinder. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. And then Angel.
Heard bro couldn't even top a locals.
Bro, locals are harder than YCSs. I swear. I've been look. I said this before. I said YCSs are harder than regionals. Everybody yelled at me. I'm just saying my topping percentage at YCS is higher than regionals. Swear, bro. Because regionals, I'm playing against random rogue round 1 through 8. My deck is unprepared for Dino Invoked OTK, okay? But at a YCS meta, I'm clapping them. That I had to say that. It needed to be said. I really feel that way.
Gotta fix that ego.
It's not an ego, bro. How do you beat Dino Invoked FTK?
Starts a video off saying you gotta have an ego. It's not an ego.
You have to, bro. You have to have an ego, but at the same time, you gotta realize these random rogue decks are wild, and I'm very unprepared for them at tournaments. Well, at regionals at least, because I build my regionals like I'm building a YCS deck, and then I just need to build regional decks like I'm going to locals.
Sorry,
honestly,
I didn't mean to trigger you there.
No, it's cool.
I didn't know that was one of your
Nope.
trigger words.
Yep.
I gotta be safe next time.
So we win the rock paper scissors shoot. 40 versus 40. Gotta love to see it. And then see right there, I said 1 second. Got a screen share. They said exposed. And then I'll be going first, obviously. Opening hands, we have Junk Ford, Fusion Destiny, Fogblade, Seer, and Stains, a full combo. And then they have Droplet, Prosperity, Nadir Servant, Ash, and Fusion Destiny. Like, look at this hand.
It's broke, man. Like you can't say nothing about it.
Like, every card in this hand is a good card. Special summon, normal summon, go for Cherubini, and then we go ahead, we Cherubini effect, dump the Ancient Cloak, and then, we said think there, but it's just special summon Seer. I think we were just thinking about our plays after Rusty.
Yeah.
And then, get rid of those, go for Rusty, the good old lag, Rusty effect, and then in response they chain Ash Blossom to that, and then it's a little bit tough for us there, but we go ahead, we banish Ancient Cloak. I didn't mean to put that back in the graveyard, I meant to press the declare button, and then go ahead and search, and I go grab the Torn Scales, and then banish the Stain to special summon out from the hand, summon out Torn Scales, and then Torn Scales effect, discard Fogblade to go dump, and now go ahead and dump the Silent of the Boots.
What?
I was just waiting for you to say something, to be honest. I was just seeing if you were paying attention.
Bro, I was like, what do you keep saying boots for? I'm letting you go, man. This is your moment.
Yeah. Alright. It's our moment. But Fog Blade special summon out boots. And then overlay those, go for Sea Dragon. Sea Dragon effect, a special summon back out from the banish. You know, summon out the Ancient Cloak effect, boost that by 8. And then we just get rid of those. We go for the Dagda. Yeah, because we couldn't go for Breaksword there over Sea Dragon because Breaksword effect locks us in the darks.
Yeah, we couldn't get the Scythe combo. We prioritized that.
Yeah.
Because either way, we're playing a droplet, so you might as well get might as well get a Scythe out of it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna play in a droplet, go for the better play.
Yeah, it was like if we, either way, droplet was hurting us extremely bad. This way made us that way we only had to get dropleted for 1. The other way made us so we had to get hit with droplet for 2 because they had to negate Rusty and Enforcer. But we decided that this was fine. Like, we literally put them on half droplet for Artifact, which we decided was, like, perfectly fine. Like, you know, we banished boots to go search, but it actually wasn't perfectly fine because they actually did have the droplet, which kind of hurt my feelings. So, we set...
I want to see what the 6th card is.
How much you want to bet it's insane? Actually, I don't even remember what the.
I think it is insane.
How much?
I don't think the dude activated a bad card.
Well, what do you think it is?
Bro, I'm pretty sure it's a meltdown. I'm not gonna lie.
You think it's meltdown?
I think it's meltdown.
All right.
I can't remember. I didn't watch the replay, so.
Yeah, neither did I. I'm gonna go with Alistair.
Imperm. Oh, okay. Oh, I mean.
We were just never playing through this. Oh yeah, and we allow main phase to go through. We decided that we were gonna play into Fusion Destiny because we knew that Gamma and Imperm we knew Gamma was in their main deck. So we were like, we're just gonna play around Gamma and be big brained. But they had droplets, so yeah. And also, letting them activate Prosperity also allows them to go ahead and try to grab an out. And if we chain Enforcer to Prosperity to pop Enforcer and Scythe, then they're just going to, you know, Prosperity, they could just grab Gamma off of that, or grab Imperm off of that, because they know that Scythe's going to be activated on a new chain link. So, probably should have just went ahead and full committed Enforcer effect, pop Scythe, and just hope that they didn't main deck Gamma. Or,
it
not
didn't
main
matter.
deck. Not main deck, it's top deck Gamma.
Yeah.
But, you know,
it didn't matter. It did not.
So then they're going to grab Alistair.
Bro's cracked.
Yeah. I knew they had Alistair somewhere. Alright, so they Prosperity'd into it. And then they are going to go ahead and they're going to normal summon out Alistair. Yeah, they really big thinked there, and we were like, oh no, that's not good. Summon Alistair effect. In response, we chain Enforcer. Okay, why did we do this here?
The play around.
We
played around Gamma.
No,
and
the play around Droplet.
Was it the play around Droplet?
Yeah, because if we chain link 2 Fogblade to negate Alistair, then if they chain Droplet to get rid of Alistair to hit Enforcer, we have no interruptions. So we activated Enforcer instead of Fogblade because we could activate the Enforcer effect here, and now the opponent's going to think about this, and they let it go through, and then we were like, okay, well, if they don't have Droplet or anything, then the invocation that they're searching doesn't matter. So we go ahead, pop, they search invocation, and then we get our effects in graveyard, you know, special summon back out the Scythe, and then we get Scythe effect, and then they chain Droplets. So this played around Droplet better because now we at least still have our Fogblade. Then they activate invocation, you know, they're going to banish, summon out Agos, and then Agos effect, and here we decide to go ahead and we flip the Fogblade on the Agos, and we do this because this card is going to be a problem this card will be a problem next turn if we don't stop it. This card will be a pop next turn if we don't stop it. This card will be a pop this turn if we don't stop it. It's going to attack over this turn. We decided this card will cause way too many problems. But then we were also like, oh, what if they just special summon Ecclesia and go for Anaconda? But we were like, oh, what if they just like special summon the Ecclesia? I forget what the Ecclesia thought was. Oh, yeah, right. We were just like, oh, but if they're going to Agos Power Rusty, if they just special summon Ecclesia and then we Fogblade Ecclesia, they just go for Anaconda anyways. So we were like, there's no way to, like, truly stop Anaconda unless if we let this go through, we let an Ecclesia go through, and then we let them summon Anaconda and we Fogblade. But then the... or no, because if Ecclesia goes through, they're not going for Anaconda. So we had to let Ecclesia go through, so that way they're locked out of Extract, is what I meant to say. My bad. And then...
Eagle's definitely a problem. Definitely had to stop that.
And then the Invocation, they put back, they grab Alistair, and then they go ahead and activate Fusion Destiny here, and they're going to dump, they summon out the Enforcer, and then now they just go Battle Phase, attack Dagda. If you're wondering why they didn't Nadir Servant to like go grab Ecclesia to summon it as a body, it's because of Fusion Destiny, and they already normal summon the Alistair. So they attack over, half damage, and then Enforcer effect, pop itself in Rusty, and then Enforcer effect, and then they move on to main phase 2, Nadir Servant, and then Nadir Servant will dump the Apcolone to go search out the Ecclesia, and then Apcolone effect will activate. And at this point, we were like, there is just no way our opponent is drawing like this. Because their hand was insane.
That was correct.
Yeah. Like, their hand was actually wild.
Like, we weren't like... The Schism was going to be hard enough to out, and that was a horrible top deck.
Yeah.
And, like, we had out a Pop. We had out Schism, Send, because all our stuff's dark.
Yeah. And then also, like, the Unknown Imperm. And I remember we were even thinking about it. We were like, yeah, there's no way we win this game. So I was like, I'm just going to mess around. No, I was just messing around so hard here at this point in a second.
We let Ty's reviewing everything.
Yeah, we we start joking around. We had other people in the Discord. We were joking around with him. And I was like, I'll summon Anaconda. Like, he'll do something about it. Set Fusion Destiny, Celestial go ahead, draw. And then this goes ahead and draws into the Rhoda, and then the third Fusion Destiny. And it was like, yeah, we can't win this. Like, it's impossible. So, I activate Ancient Cloak effect, banish itself to go search out Boots. But the opponent doesn't know that we can't win this. They don't know that. Torn Skills to summon itself out, they allow this to go through. And they let this go through because if they activate Schism to summon Window, then even though like they get to send Anaconda and like we're window locked, if we have Droplet, we win. And Droplet's the only way that we win here. So on summon they activate Enforcer, and that goes ahead, pops Enforcer and Torn Skills, and then Enforcer Graveyard effect, and then they activate Rhoda. Also, I should have gone over the banishes. Yeah, they definitely just played 2 window. And then activate Rhoda. So Rhoda will go ahead and search out the Ragged Gloves from the deck to the hand. And then normal summon the Ragged Gloves. And here I activate Verte effect on Agos to make it a dark. Which you may be questioning, why would you do that? Because if I didn't do that, they only had enough darks to where they would have to banish a hero piece to go ahead and go for Windup. But the theory is that if I make this a dark and then they schism it away, we have Fogblade Extendi. So yeah, and we knew we lost, so we were like,
that was big brain. That was big brain.
Yeah,
we
were like, maybe they imperm this. Who knows? Like at this point, we just had to make plays that somehow would make our opponent lose themselves the game, because there was no way we were winning without them messing up extremely bad. Then we go Break Sword, and we activate the effect on Summon, because Ragged Gloves makes it gain 1,000. Whenever you activate the effect on Summon, people always pick this card up and read it. It's actually funny. Like in real life, that happened twice throughout the weekend at the 3v.
Like, it's not quick. If you can't activate the pop on Summon.
Yeah, no,
not that like, one. Not that one, bud. We're talking about a Gloves effect.
Yeah. I was like, using effect? Yes. No response. And they banish, they summon Winda, they send this. And then here's where I'm like, alright. And then we were still just messing around. I was like, because we saw this person open Insane so many times, and we were just like, honestly, we're gonna lose. We can't win this. They're insane.
We're
So
like, yeah, we lost. We are so like,
yeah, we were
we're
just like,
down on ourselves. We're like, oh man,
yeah. I said good luck.
this guy has slayed us 3 games in a row.
So I
He
said
is.
I said
Go ahead.
Sura ordera hando, and then he goes ahead, says gotta Google Translate that, and then I go serve my order in hand. Yeah, I was just saying random words at this point after I was done side decking. So, hopefully here, please no order. We go first, opening hands. We have Fusion Destiny, Tracker, Boots, Talents, and Libic. This isn't bad at all. This is actually pretty good. We have these to play with. We have Fusion Destiny and Talents, and this is a random extender. And then they have Maximus, Alistair, Droplet, Meltdown, and Alistair. So this hand they see Droplet going second, but they don't see hand traps. So we go ahead, we normal summon Boots, and then we special summon out the Tracker. And then we get rid of those. We go for Cherubini. Cherubini effect to dump. We dump Graph. Graph effect, special summon out Seer. And then here we made the mistake. First of all, we hopped into this IronMan with 0 testing with Libic in the side deck for going first. This was our bar, but we switched it out with Libic because there's no time for this tournament, so there's no, or for this IronMan, so there's no point of having bar in the side deck. So we switched it literally 30 seconds before sending in our lists. So we had no practice with this deck or with this card. I had a little bit of practice with this card before because I tried playing this card in the main deck, but man, we just played this bad. We just don't summon Libic. So we went for Rusty, Seer effect, special summon back out the Cherubini, and then Rusty effect. So Rusty will go ahead and dump the Ancient Cloak, and then we set the Shade, and then we banish the Ancient Cloak to go Search, and then this will go ahead and grab the Torn Scales, and then we turn those into a Dagda. And like I said, we misplayed. We should have.
I think the Libic definitely came up. I'm pretty sure. Like, we wouldn't have to, if we just would have used the Libic summon, we wouldn't have to do the like, pretty sure we could have sent another, we could have sent, like, Stained or something and extended further with our PK stuff.
I mean,
Or could
Cherubini
we
probably
have?
should have sent Torn Skills, right?
Yeah. Instead of, that was the like, if we
That was
open,
the misplay because we didn't think about using Libic as the extender when we should have,
yeah.
and then we could have banished.
So our only thought was like, oh, Libic is only in the deck for Graph if we open Seer. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes
We
up
should
and it's
just
nice.
use it as the extender because if you open up
For
any
sure.
of the BAs at any point,
Yeah.
Even game 1, if you open Graph or Seer, it doesn't cut off your combo completely. It just makes it so that way if you open these cards, they are your extender in hand instead of having the 2 extender out of the deck. So then you can Cherubini, go dump something else that's not a BA and try to replace that second extender. So some hands it works, some hands it doesn't. A lot of the time it works to where you can still full combo through it, but straight just botted it up at this point. Summon Enforcer, and then Banish Boost to go search Fogblade, and then we set, and the Ancient Cloak goes search Torn Scales. There was no point of doing that before, reaching this point. I just realized I'd messed up, and was like,
yeah, we
just
definitely should have
activate.
saved that for the next turn.
No, not the next turn.
Well, why not though? Just
because we want to activate Ancient Cloak
yeah.
effect next turn.
Yeah, you're right.
But we should have waited until this point to go ahead and Ancient Cloak go search. But I just did it early because we realized we messed up, and I kind of just wanted to look in the deck. It was like, oh man, we messed up. Let me just click button, and then pass, draw Prosperity. So yeah, I mean realistically, this IronMan probably could have been won not 6-0 because game 1 of this match there was no way of us ever winning that. But this IronMan could have been won way we could have won this so easily. Banish 6 and looking at those 6. We go ahead banish those. Thinking last as usual just to get ordered. Exactly. Said you won't flip it. Chainlink 2, side. It's okay. Ah! And then they look at their top 6.
Ew.
Yeah, they go ahead, they grab the Super Poly, and then they put those back. Yeah. Anything on Res? Said sec wife. Already think. Yeah, they're thinking on the priority. They go ahead, get rid of Alistair to get rid of those. Said flip order now. I prefer to Ash the Super Poly. And they summon out their Drago. Normal summon Alistair. I mean, it's definitely good watching over these. We see just how bad we were. Like we're
for
so
sure.
like, we're so much better with this deck now, even though it's only a few days later. Like, I mean, to be fair, we have been testing a lot.
A lot.
Like
a lot.
Like
I think before Sunday, I think me and you have tested together maybe like 5 or 6 times. We've literally played every single night.
yeah, we tested more in the last week than we ever have in like years.
It's insane.
Yep. But gotta do it. Gotta do what you gotta do. Simple as that. I can't speak. They're gonna go ahead. Change
Nasty. This dude is nasty. He has so many good hands. We're right here. We're like, how every single game does he open Prosperity, Alistair, Droplet.
Yeah, but to be fair, like we did misplay here super heavily. Otherwise, we could have just comboed through Droplet. So that's our fault. Their hand didn't even matter. I'm just trash. Simple as that. And then Invocation, Banish, summon out Agos, and then they're gonna activate Agos effect, pop the Dagda, and then that just goes through. And then they're gonna activate.
Did we not side one Lancian?
They dropleted this.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
We thought about using this earlier on the Prosperity, but we didn't want to play into Talons. So we just said okay.
That is fine.
Yup. At this point, we were just like, man, we're just getting hard bullied. So go ahead, attack. You know.
Like right here, we definitely thought like, yeah, we just got clapped again.
Yeah. Then like, Scythe comes out during the end phase because Dagda.
Oh, why didn't we declare effect just because?
I should have been like, is effect okay? And then we go ahead. Also, I said think and draw phase, which would have made my opponent think that I drew a monster because of Dasher effect. That's a good way to bluff.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And honestly, the wings draw is very good.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad draw. Response to Summon Duelist. No, sir. Oh, yeah, and at this point, I wanted to go send the Christmas emote, and I clicked on the wrong button, and it brought up a whole bunch of these, like, random, like, scripted things. And I was like, alright, well, about to send 2 of these. Then I go ahead, use the effect, get rid of wings, and then they go ahead and chain the Drago to negate this. And then, because they think that they can just, like, negate this, and then if we, like, banish wings, summon Rusty, they just out it. But we know that doesn't matter, because we're going to go ahead, Talents, look at the hand. I said, show me the goo! And they chain Alistair on Agos, and we're just like, okay. Because they probably thought that they were going to just go battle phase attack over. So they chain Alistair. And then here we go ahead, and we actually hit the wrong card. We hit Maximus, when we should have hit Meltdown. Because realistically, we could have left... we could have hit Meltdown, left Maximus, and then we could have number 80 ripped their graveyard. But it just didn't matter. Just didn't matter. So we turned Twin Scales into the Amirage.
Actually, how long did that take to summon Almirage?
Way too long.
Because I know we were like trying to think about. Because I was telling you, like, just summon Almirage.
Well, no,
we have the outlet.
We thought about it way before I even activated Talents. Because I was like, should we Talents take this? And you were like, no, it doesn't matter. Just go Amirage. And I was like, but does it matter? And you were like, no, just full commit. And I was like, alright, I'm going to Talents look at their hand. If we lose, it's on you. But,
like, we had the out to Agos. Yeah. We Talents ripped their hands so they have no follow-up.
No, literally this game, at this point in time, I was just joking around so much. You were the one playing it. Like, you played this game too at this point on. I didn't play this out. It was on my
Yeah,
account,
I was literally,
but your brain.
I was literally like, summon Alvaraj, full combo. Done.
Yep. Then,
Too much. Oh, God.
summon Rusty, and then Torn Scale summon itself out. And then Rusty effect, go ahead, dump the Ancient Cloak, set Fogblade. You know, Fogblade at worst would like trade with Meltdown next turn. Ancient Cloak, banish itself, go search Boots. And then
Yes, sir.
we just go ahead and we special summon out the Boots. Then we overlay those, go for Break Sword, and they have to Aegos pop this here to trade with Amirage. But they actually just don't go ahead, and they don't activate Aegos effect on the summon.
Yeah, we're like, wow.
Yeah,
we got like.
Yeah, it was just
we were really shocked right there. Like, well, why not?
Yeah,
But
like the trades with Amirage, and now we just Break Sword out this, but yeah. So Rusty will go ahead and pop the Fog Blade that was like just fizzled sitting there, so that way we can like use that as an extender later down the line, if like necessary. Then we go ahead, we pop the Aegos, Break Sword effect, especially summon back out from the graveyard, and then we just go ahead and we turn all of those into Unicorn effect, spin that back, draw Talons, and then we slap those into the access code, effect, getting attack, special summon back out. He said, dude, what are you not playing an extra? I actually don't know what they meant by that. Yeah, I really don't know what they meant by that.
They probably thought our extra is super weird.
Alright.
Part of the
Just keep going. Alright. So right there they had to like refresh, and I was just like counting down. Said, hey yo, chill. That's funny. My teammate says my teammates cursed me 2 bad hands, so if we brick, we draw. They wanted us to like draw if they drew bad. But then they go first. Opening hands, we have Italy, Gamma, Tracker, Lancia called by, and we were freaking out. We were like, there's no way.
We're like, this is solid.
So
solid. Lancia, Gamma.
like, we're stopping the
Beautiful.
turn, for sure.
Absolutely.
And then they had Alistair, Ash, Imperm, Alistair, and Punishment.
He's still, like, that's, like, not the hands he's been getting all day, but like,
it's
he's
not
still
bad
open.
at all.
He's still open good.
Like, this is 4 interruptions with follow-up.
Gosh.
So they use the effect, we chain Gamma, and then he said, hey, yo, chill. They say this a lot, but it's funny. And then they Ash the Gamma, and it's like, alright.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, 'cause we just have the Lancia. And I actually thought about dropping Lancia here to, like, play around Maximus, or play around, yeah, because, like, I was like, oh, they could just Maximus here, but I was like, I'll hard trade with Invocation. Like, we won't be able to deal
Yeah,
with
but,
this
I
next
mean,
turn.
the Maximus wouldn't matter because we had Gamma again, so.
Yeah, oh, that's what it was, that's my bad,
Yeah.
my bad. Yeah, honestly, I just didn't look at the hand when I said that. But yeah, go ahead, stop that. We put it over there, and then they set it. Then they.
All right, we got to talk about the Discord right here.
Okay, so.
So we're saying they set 2.
Yeah, at this point they set 2, and we had called by. So we were like, all right, if we just draw Twin Twisters, discard Gamma, we win no matter what. And at this point, we draw for turn. And remind you, there's only 1 Twin Twisters in this list.
We decided in 1.
So we drew the twin. And I literally go 1 second.
1 sec.
And I just
We're
get up,
all of us.
and I just
We're out.
leave.
We're screaming.
Because we all guessed it. We're like, there's no way. There's no way that we just drew this.
You like in like real time. You're like, so I'm just gonna draw this Twin Twister. You hit next turn. You rip it. And we're like, we're out, dude. We're like, there's no way.
Insane.
There's no way. And we don't shuffle hand.
Just
we don't.
DM.
We let them know that was it. That was our top deck. He said draw.
Yeah, so we go ahead, pop those. It's a Twingo Bird.
Dude, that was insane.
Yeah, we just go ahead and combo here, and we know we have called by for anything.
Bro, I'm telling you, for this exact combo, we should play Brionic so we get the wielder pop.
Bro, if you don't stop bringing this up, it's literally every time you summon wielder, you're like, alright, I'm gonna go for Brionic now.
We played it in Salad when it first came out. It was baller. All right, I'll stop talking now.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just keep going here, but we chair beating, and we were like, okay, we could play into nib here. If we play in the nib, our end board is way better. But if they nib us, they have nothing left. But we also have nothing left.
We have a call by and token.
Yeah, so we were like, all right, we honestly just have to full commit. Just full commit.
Oh, we had to. We had no choice. It's either, end on nothing or get nibbed, and if they nib us, I mean, they have it. That's literally what we could say. If they have it, they have it.
Well, we want to end on nothing, because we would have dumped Ancient Cloak, banished to go search, normal summon it. And then
fair enough.
Because then we would have at least had like a Fog Blade. But yeah, at this point we were just way too hype. We were like, yeah, we just got a full commit. We were like, if they have Nib in their deck right now, they are insane. Because you feel like Nib would come out for something else.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're like, there's no way. Also, there's no there's like no way they keep Nib going first.
Yeah, because like, what else are they taking out, right? Because like, they keep Gamma and going first to like play around Droll. I guess
you have to keep the low impacts in because they're decent interruptions.
Well, it's just like if you end with like Makaba with like Droplet, like it's not bad because you can go ahead. Like I was thinking like, wow, like what could they set out Droplet? But like if they just end on like a decent board and then also have like Droplet on top of it, it makes it like extremely hard to actually out that board. Maybe they did keep Nib in. I'm not sure, but we just full committed here. Maybe it was right to go ahead and play this differently and go ahead and just end on like Anaconda with Fog Blade.
We definitely should have ended with actual like recovery. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were way too hype right now.
Then we Rusty dump Ancient Cloak, set Fog Blade, and then we banish Ancient Cloak, go search Boo.
Right here we know they don't got nib.
Yeah, like they
would have nibbed already.
So we knew that it was just game. We couldn't lose. So we dump, we summon Enforcer, and then we just go ahead, battle phase, and we just attack over. And also, what I remember, you were like, don't pop Verte and Secure Guard.
You're like, yeah, pop. You're like, pop Verte and Secure, and I was like, just attack over it. Like, don't. I forget what we were trying to play around, but I was like, just attack. Like, it's no biggie. You're like, okay, I'll listen.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, if we lose because of this, and at this point, like, I just didn't even care because I knew we won. Like, there's nothing that beats us here.
Like, we had the out to Nadir,
we had the out
Alistair.
To everything. We had two Fogblade, Enforcer, Rusty, called by, follow-ups through these. So we knew it was game over. We just passed.
He would top deck the Nadir though.
Yeah, they really would top deck Nadir Servant. If you can't tell, we were very salty about how our opponent was drawing throughout this Iron Man. But they used the effect, so let it resolve, please. I said the DB grinder on YouTube. I was like, wow, you aren't already? And then I go ahead and chain Fog Blade. So just go ahead and stop that. We could have also chained Called By to hit the Alistair Engraver to negate it, but we literally just wanted to save it for the top deck Nadir Servant because we knew that there's like no way we lose here. So like the Called By can hit whatever they send off Nadir Servant, and Fog Blade can stop the other piece, like whatever they search. So they send Elder, grab Ecclesia, and then they activate the Elder effect, and they go ahead and they target the Called By here. And then yeah, we just go ahead. I chain Called By, hit Elder. I was looking at the graveyard. There was just nothing better to hit. So we decided to hit the Fusion because we didn't want to hit Alistair and like Invocation grab it back just because like we don't need to do that. So we hit the Elder. Said I'm not subbing, to be honest. And then the Ecclesia. Also, it was really funny because Nesh came in right here because he was watching this whole Iron Man. And he came in as the judge just to talk in chat because he was watching as like his regular account. He came in as the judge and said, "I mean, bro." He was like, "Come on, bro. Like it's over. Just admit defeat." And he was like, "Yeah, I lose this." We were like, "Yeah." Like all three of us knew how this was ending. Like they just summoned Ecclesia, we Fog Blade it, and then that's it. Like they can't even go Anaconda because Nadir Servant. Even if they could, we just Enforcer pop. So GG's,
Correct.
well played. It's crazy because, like, we just didn't play this well.
No.
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 Not at all.
No, not one bit.
We were like, we're gonna risk it for the biscuit, and we got it. So.
Yeah. I'm talking about, like, this whole Iron Man. Nope.
There were some good moments.
Nope.
But those good moments wouldn't have been around if we actually played our bad moments better. If that makes sense.
Like, realistically, we should have, like, I shouldn't even had to play.
Yeah, it should have been 4-0.
It should have been
but
4-0. But we just didn't think it through enough.
Nope. Because that game too, he did brick. He didn't open ideal.
Yeah.
Or what?
Yeah, like 100%. We could have 4-0'd our opponents and almost lost. We almost lost.
He got that hot streak. They got that hot streak. I couldn't deal with it. My stress was like above. It was up there.
Yeah. But
My palms are sweaty, knees weak, mom's spaghetti. Man, I couldn't deal with it.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Said I'm sub, by the way. Don't worry. I think I just sent a heart. Yeah. And then also I showed the hand. I had to for the watchers, just to show that I top decked twin, because we were still freaking out about this twin being the top deck.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That this is the first Iron Man that we've done together. We definitely didn't play very well. But honestly, we are way better at this now.
Oh yeah, like the quality of these are only gonna go up now.
It's like the quality of us at Phantom Night has gone up so much because the amount of testing we've done has gone up 100%. Like
it's like every night for at least 5 hours we are testing.
Yeah. So the testing with Phantom Night has gone up 100%, and then also this may sound like the weirdest thing that you'll ever hear on this channel, and I don't ever suggest you ever doing this. We played some tag team duels, all right? We played some tag team duels. We played like 4 of them. First of all, we are the tag team champs. We are what Nesh would
undefeated.
call the dream team. We are insane. We're insane. And those
double enforcer? Double enforcer? What?
You just scythe your opponent every turn. They never get to play.
Literally 4 turns in a row they will get scythed.
And yeah, but those honestly helped us too because we got to like play with the other person's hand. Like we both would play the same hand as if you would in an Iron Man. But we just did that in tag team.
Right, and like we went against.
It's like only the first.
Our first one, we get that Dream Mirror. The guy ended on 5 interruptions, and we played through it, and still ended on Scythe Enforcer. Yeah. That was when we realized okay, this deck is kind of nutty. This is pretty good.
How do you play through? We realized it, but that's when we were like, holy, that's insane.
Yeah. Like what he had like a monster negate, a summon negation, called by,
a summon / a spell negate, a called by, an enforcer,
Valor, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was like Valor, and then like a hard monster negate, and we just played through it, and still locked the next person out. But yeah.
Oh man, that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, look at this game. Hour and 20 minutes long. This whole game could have been prevented.
Honestly, I think that's how long this video is.
80 minutes.
The video's pretty long.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty long video.
Yeah, we've been we went into depth. We had to. We had to explain. We messed up a lot, and we barely made it out. It was scary. It was definitely scary, but our opponent, the prank kid opponent, definitely should have made it more interesting. Yeah, for sure. You open Paulie and 2 prank kids, you never not start with that. You have to.
Well, the thing is, they opened up the 2 prank kids that weren't even water. They just summoned Toad.
Yeah, their 4th
and then combo.
Their 4th summon was Toad.
And they just decided, nah, we don't Paulie. We don't Paulie in this deck.
Yeah.
But Yeah, you have any final words you want to say?
Um. Oh God. What do I don't think I have anything like good to say. I mean, that
Alright.
was
That took you
after
a while.
watching.
That
I was trying to think. I was like, I couldn't think of like the right words, but I was like,
was like
after
a
watching this Iron Man, taking the L at
taking the
the
L.
3v3 at the 3v3,
Oh yeah.
and watching like the misplays and looking back on those misplays, like the little ones we made, that definitely mattered.
Yeah, I just
Like,
want to say like the question I asked is, do you have any final words? And this is like a 1 minute no.
so those are my final words.
I'm playing. But alright. Well, actually, there is something I want to bring up, and I know you didn't want me to bring this up,
I hate
but
this.
I have to. So, Mike, the person I'm in this Discord with, the person I went to the 3v3 with, the person I played in the Ironman with, they are going to be starting a YouTube channel soon. Not yet. It's not out yet, but it will be coming out soon. I'm making him full commit. He will.
I'm
full
still
commit.
unsure on what I want to do. I don't know if I want to do like, well, I don't want to. I don't want to copy the grinder here, the DB grinder, and like do like commentary. I'd rather like show like do this what we're doing right now and
This is literally
show,
commentary.
but like not of someone else's play. I want my own, or you know what I mean? Like I want to show my own gameplay, not someone else's, and just someone else's match.
All right.
Like, so I could be more in depth and show like learning curves and all that, like just different things. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I
Still
mean,
up
I
in the
don't
air
really know
about
how
what
you're
I
gonna
want to
show
do.
off learning curves when like you're still like not.
Learning myself.
No, I mean, I
Yeah.
was gonna joke around. I was gonna say when you still haven't like passed the curve, but it's a dumb joke. Dumb joke. Okay, it's a failed one. They're not all tens.
Yeah.
All right.
You can't make fun of me when I already do it to myself.
But I do. I still make fun of you all the time.
Fine.
But
Fair enough.
all right. There's not really much more to say here. And like I said, he's gonna be starting a YouTube channel soon. I'll be when the time comes. I'll be shouting him out. I'll like be a special guest on his channel. You know, we'll help him grow. He will become a very good duelist when the time comes. Because right now he's pretty garbage. All right.
Stop.
But all right. With all that being said, again, make sure to go ahead and check out the Coliseum. I'll leave a link down below to their Discord. Best place to go ahead and play money matches and everything like that. Like, if you just want to play an Ironman at 2 a.m., you can just go play an Ironman at 2 a.m. It's really just as simple as that. So go check them out.
You said full send? Let's do it. What do you mean?
I mean, after this, we are. But it's not 2 a.m.
It's gonna be by the time we're done.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But, alright, the DB Grinder, signing off. Peace. Have a nice day. Stay safe.